Welcome back to the channel, where today we are diving into what might be the most anticipated update in the world of Japanese sports cars for the 2026 model year. If you have been following the saga of the RZ34 Nissan Z, you know that while the car was a hit with enthusiasts for its retro styling and twin-turbocharged power, the high-performance Nismo variant left a bitter taste in the mouths of many purists upon its debut. The reason was simple. Despite being the ultimate expression of the Z, it was launched exclusively with a 9-speed automatic transmission. Nissan argued at the time that the automatic provided the fastest lap times and the most consistent performance, but for the Z faithful, the lack of a third pedal felt like a departure from the soul of the Fairlady. Fast forward to today, and it appears that Nissan has not only been listening to the feedback, but has finally acted on it. The big news for 2026 is the official introduction of the 6-speed manual transmission for the Fairlady Z NISMO, a move that recalibrates the car's position in the market and reinforces its status as a driver-focused machine. This update isn't just a simple parts bin swap where they bolted in the gearbox from the standard Z and called it a day. Nissan engineers have gone to great lengths to ensure that the manual transmission can handle the increased performance and the specific demands of the Nismo trim. Under the hood, the VR30 DDTT 3.0-liter twin-turbo V6 continues to produce a stout 420 horsepower and 384 pound-feet of torque. To manage this output through a manual interface, Nissan has refined the clutch and flywheel assembly to provide the tactile feedback and durability required for both spirited canyon runs and rigorous track sessions. The gear ratios have been meticulously tuned to take full advantage of the Nismo-specific power curve, ensuring that the car feels just as urgent and responsive as its automatic sibling. Furthermore, the inclusion of the Synchro Rev Match system means that every downshift is executed with professional precision, blipping the throttle automatically to keep the engine in the optimal power band and the chassis perfectly balanced. Visually, the 2026 update retains the aggressive and functional aesthetic that defined the Nismo's initial launch. The most striking feature remains the extended front end, often referred to as the G-nose, which is a direct homage to the legendary 240ZG. This design isn't just for retro flair, it serves a critical aerodynamic purpose by smoothing the airflow over the front of the car and increasing downforce on the front axle. The honeycomb grille is specifically designed to maximize airflow to the upgraded cooling systems, which have been further optimized for this model year to ensure that the twin-turbo V6 remains at peak performance even during extended high-speed driving. Along the sides, the wider sills and the subtle but effective rear flares house the lightweight 19-inch Rays forged wheels, which are now finished in a new dark metallic hue for the 2026 update. At the rear, the 3-piece spoiler and the massive functional diffuser work in tandem to keep the car glued to the tarmac, providing a level of high-speed stability that distinguishes the Nismo from the standard sport or performance trims. Inside the cabin, the manual Z NISMO offers a cockpit that is both purposeful and premium. The signature Recaro bucket seats, upholstered in a mix of leather and Alcantara, provide exceptional lateral support, ensuring that the driver remains firmly planted even during high G cornering. For 2026, the interior sees minor but significant updates to the materials used on the touchpoints. The steering wheel, which features a red 12 o'clock marker, is wrapped in a more tactile Alcantara, and the red accents on the digital instrument cluster have been refreshed to provide better visibility in direct sunlight. Of course, the centerpiece is the new manual gear shifter. Nissan has opted for a weighted, teardrop-shaped knob that feels substantial in the hand, connected to a short-throw linkage that provides that mechanical bolt-action feel that manual enthusiasts crave. It is a space that feels distinctly Nismo, blending modern technology with the classic ergonomics of a traditional sports car. The chassis and suspension have also received attention in this update to accommodate the different weight distribution and driving dynamics associated with a manual transmission. The Nismo-specific suspension tuning includes unique stabilizer bars, stiffer spring rates, and larger dampers that have been recalibrated to offer a more communicative ride. The goal was to ensure that the manual version doesn't just feel like a standard Z with more power, but a precision instrument that rewards driver input. The braking system remains a high point, featuring massive 4-piston front calipers and 2-piston rear calipers gripping oversized rotors. The brake pads themselves have been upgraded for better thermal resistance, ensuring that the stopping power remains consistent lap after lap. When you combine this mechanical grip with the mechanical limited slip differential at the rear, the Z NISMO manual becomes an incredibly rewarding car to drive on the limit, offering a level of engagement that was previously missing from the lineup. What makes this 2026 update particularly significant is the message it sends to the automotive industry. In an era where many manufacturers are abandoning the manual transmission in favor of electrification or more efficient automatics, Nissan's decision to invest in a manual option for their flagship sports car is a bold statement. It acknowledges that for a certain segment of the market, the emotional connection to the drive is more important than a few tenths of a second on a spec sheet. This move also puts the Z NISMO in direct competition with other manual-equipped legends like the Toyota GR Supra and the BMW M2, creating a golden age for enthusiasts who still want to row their own gears. Nissan's commitment to the Fairlady Z brand has never been clearer, and by giving the Nismo the gearbox it deserves, they have silenced the critics and created what is arguably the most desirable version of the Z in decades. Pricing and availability for the 2026 Nissan Fairlady Z NISMO manual are expected to follow the same premium structure as the previous years, with a slight adjustment to account for the new hardware and updated features. In the Japanese market, where the car continues to be a cultural icon, order books are expected to fill up almost instantly. For the North American and global markets, enthusiasts are already reaching out to dealers to secure their spots for what is likely to be a limited production run. As we move closer to the official launch date, it is clear that Nissan has achieved something special here. They took a car that was already a fantastic performer and added the one missing ingredient to make it a future classic. The 2026 Z NISMO manual is proof that the spirit of the Fairlady is alive and well, and that as long as there are drivers who value engagement and heritage, Nissan will be there to provide the machine they need. Stay tuned as we hope to get behind the wheel very soon to see if this manual transformation lives up to the immense hype.